Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Alone in My Head podcast, episode number 59. This is Pete. We are back, and we're going to talk about the usage of marijuana and gummies and CBD for your mental health, or do you use it really? I'm not a doctor, I'm not a practitioner, I'm not an advocate, I'm not even a pothead. Okay, so I'm not that person that talks about different benefits of cannabinoids. I think I even said it right. I'm also not a person who understands how lithium actually works. They just give it to me, and I take it. Now, we can talk about why does my voice sound so cracky today? I sound like a different person. Well, it's early in the morning, and I'm sure my children are going to come down at some point, and we're going to try to do it. We're going to try to do it. So that's what I'm going to talk about. A couple stories involving that, not necessarily for mental health or coping mechanism for it. Right? I use it as a supplementation. But before I get into that, I will tell you a little bit more about the week. I've gone to therapy a lot more frequently now because I definitely need someone to talk to. You know, there's a lot of things that I am working through and a lot of things that I'm working on. But even more importantly, there's times where you feel good. Like, I feel better, right? I feel okay for whatever I say. Right? How do you feel? I'm okay for whatever okay is. That's my answer. You know, for anyone that asks me, how are you doing? Because I'm okay for whatever okay is. Because that's all I could give you. You know, that's probably the most honest answer that I could give someone without falling into a trap. Not even a trap. Falling into a self-pity, let me help you conversation. So I'm okay for whatever okay is. Like, I'm okay for whatever I feel today. Because tomorrow I can be okay, but in a way that I'm okay. You know, it's always going to be different. So it's hard for me to say, like, are you happy? I guess. I don't know. Am I? Are you sad? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So it's hard to put those two emotions. And then it becomes a loaded question. How are you doing today? It's very hard to answer. You know, how are you doing in general? It's fucking, you want a book? Because I could give you a book. You don't have to read it. I don't think you want to read it. But, you know, so I stay with that. It's probably a little easier. Anyway, I definitely go to therapy more frequently, but I do it on my own, right? She doesn't tell me I'll see you next week. I tell her I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll see you in 2 weeks again. And if I need you, I'm going to call you. And that's the relationship I have with my therapist. And I think it's great, you know. And for anyone that has, Zay's just coming down. For anyone that has thoughts of therapy or, you know, hasn't done it yet, you really have no excuse anymore. My therapist is in Colorado now. She no longer lives in Las Vegas. I no longer live in New Jersey. But she's still my therapist, and I do telehealth with her. So for those of you guys that really just want to do, not that you need to, but you've thought about it or you think you would benefit from it, you got tons of people out there that will do telehealth with you, and you have to find the right one. You know, I also found a story of a friend that told me that he tried a therapist and he doesn't know because he just didn't feel, you know, you don't vibe right. Find a new one. You know, that's always my advice for that. You need someone that's going to be there with you. You need someone that you like, someone that you trust. And if your first vibe is like, I don't know about this, well, then that's it, out. Just like in business, right? We talked about it before, fire first, fire fast, right? Hire slow. Take your time. Find the right person that meshes with you, that vibes with you, that you feel connected to help you out. I was very fortunate that she was that person. you know, in group, the one that was assigned to us, she was that person and then she left, right? So then I was just stuck with another one so it was hard to find one. And I'm really happy that I found one here that kind of makes sense with me. Makes sense with me. Remember that. Not for me, with me, because she's with me. And she understands and she empathizes with everything and asks the right questions and gives me the right suggestions. I don't even want to say answers. She gives me honest and the right suggestions. So if you're on the fence with that, you have zero excuse except for you being stubborn. You know, if you have no one to talk to and you know you need one, they're there. They're there. Pandemic changed the way it works, you know, in our favor. So give it a shot. So what we're going to talk about, like I said, is I guess the use of marijuana. And over here, not planned to be behind me, but more of an influence of what I was going to talk about. I was going to bring it upstairs because my whole closet smells like fucking weed right now, and I don't think it's a great idea to have it in the closet. The reason I have it in the closet is because I rolled one. I've rolled one. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. I rolled a joint the other night, and I brought it downstairs, and then I got too tired to bring it back upstairs. So I just left it in the closet. And when I opened the closet to get my shoes, Goo-stoo-ba-doo. It smelled so nice in there. I was like, wow, it's really fantastic smelling closet. What's a new air freshener? No, it's me leaving my paraphernalia out. So it's here. I was going to bring it upstairs, but apparently I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to talk about? We have some cool stories. I'll talk about this today. And this is what became... this is what came of it. So inside I have some pre-rolls. It's so crazy. Everything's so much easier now. You really don't even have to roll a joint anymore. You don't have to. You can just stuff the stuff into a paper, and then it's amazing. It's pretty amazing. I never rolled a joint my entire life. I tried. I think I left all the stems in it, and then it just broke everything. That was like in 1996 or 1997, I think. I just rolled it. I didn't smoke it. I didn't, guys. All right, here's a story. I did not smoke weed much. I really didn't. I didn't do many drugs. I did drink. And I guess because of the fear of the gateway, right? And back in the 80s, it was not really looked great upon to be a pothead and or to smoke weed. It was frowned upon, even in the 90s, early 2000s. And that in my mind, that it wasn't a great drug to take on top of the other drugs that, you know, that were surrounded by me from the rave scene. But I never really touched it. I don't know why. I always liked it. Like, I always smelt it. Smelled fantastic all the time, but I just never really got into it. You know, it just made me tired. You know, and that's really, and even till today, it still just makes me tired. So I believe that the reactions that I get from the cannabinoids, or I'm going to say that word because that makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I have zero idea what the fuck I'm talking about with pot. Maybe I should get like a expert pot person. I really wish my brother would do a podcast, but he doesn't want to do podcasts. He doesn't want to. And what was I going to say? I forgot. Maybe I did smoke weed. Oh yeah, and it makes me very tired, right? So that's what I use it for. I use it literally to take 1 to 2 hits outside on my balcony or front door, and I sneak it like I'm in fucking high school, right? I sneak everything. I do yawns. I'm like, oh, is Nat watching me? I'm gonna go take this outside really fast. I'm gonna go light it, and I'll take a couple hits, and then that's it. It's nothing for me to disappear. It's nothing for me to erase my memory or to watch TV and binge eat or just to relax. No, it's for me to help me calm the anxiety I get before I go to sleep. And then it helps me go to sleep. And that's all I do. I have, I think, I don't even know, a quarter of an ounce, and it lasts me forever. You know, one joint will last me 2 months, pretty much. A month, maybe a month, depending how windy it is outside. I think I lose more marijuana to the wind eating my joint than me actually smoking it. That's how much I don't do. But yeah, I use that. And then I have gummies because sometimes I don't want to step outside and smoke. And I don't take the gummies in very big portions either. And if you guys hang out, I have a great story for you about Natalie and her giant size portion that she took. I took it. I take like a little bite. So if there's like a gummy square, I wish I could show it to you. I grab it. It's okay. If you're audio, you won't even know anyway. And I'll take a bite of the corner, right? Not even the suggested is half of a square. No, I'm not doing that. I don't trust people who make pot products. First off, you're a pothead making the product. So like, how do they even, is this a Joe Rogan bit? I think this is a Joe Rogan bit. It is a Joe Rogan bit. So I think Joe Rogan does a bit on this, either in a podcast or, is this the unicorn bit? I don't remember. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Joe Rogan, a stand-up comic. Obviously, if you haven't heard of him, then you don't know anything. He's the number one podcaster in the world. He is a UFC commentator, and he is a stand-up comedian. Like, that's how I knew him before he hit all of this. I knew Joe from stand-up comedy. I didn't know Joe. I did not know Joe. Guys, get that right. I just used to watch him do stand-up back in the day on tapes. Interesting, isn't it? Tapes. Well, CDs, what's. And anyway, I don't trust people that make it because they also write the recommended dosage that should be taken. Like, no one knows how much is actually inside it. Like, if they mix it up, right? If you make a cookie, a chocolate chip cookie, right? Let's make this example. And you put it into the mixer and you throw the chocolate chips in there and the mixer's mixing it. Sometimes you get a cookie with 3 chocolate chips, and those are the worst, right? It's like, oh my God, look at this chocolate chip cookie. What is this, a chocolate chip cookie or is this a sugar cookie? Because there's only 3 chocolate chips in it. And then you have the other one that is just chocolate with some cookie, right? And that one's awesome because it's gooey and it's amazing, and then your hand's a mess, and then you got some shit on your lip because that's the way it is. But that's how it works in the machine. I'm sure when they make a gummy, no one's properly proportioning the amount of THC inside this gummy, so you never know what's inside it. You never know how much. So I like to take small bites and then wait. And then I wait 20 minutes. If I don't feel anything, then I'll take a little small bite. But it's never a guarantee for me to where I could just go gunk. And then, I'm not that much of a person that does this stuff that I have the confidence to go gunk. That's going to be a fun ride. This is going to be no, I can't do that because I've done that before. And it's the worst friggin' feeling in the entire planet. There is nothing worse than a bad high. Nothing worse. I try to think of things. That's the first time I felt anxiety was when I took too much hash brownies. And if you guys know me, I've definitely told you that story. But if you don't know me, well, then I'm going to tell you that story right after this short break. So I'd like to say the first time I had a bad high experience or a bad experience with whatever. Because in my mind, I thought I was just going to have a little bit of a smoke of a joint or something. I wish someone had that instead. Right? Because I was really hungover. I went out the night before. I worked. And, no, I just got hammered. Yeah, I just got hammered. Nat was in the city doing her thing. And we weren't married yet. This is actually when we first started dating. This is just when we first started dating. And I got hammered the night before. I went out. I forgot what we were doing. And it was Easter. So it was Easter? Easter, yes, it was Easter. And then we had people over the next day on Easter Sunday. We always had, our friends over, Jay, Bobo, the whole crew. Bell Street crew was always there. And I just wanted to, smoke and then take a nap. That was the mindset that I had. I'm going to smoke and then take a nap and then come back rejuvenated and hang out with everyone and have a party. So no one had any pot, but Bobo did have hash brownies. So I eat one piece and then I didn't feel anything. So he goes, eat more. Now, I don't know if he was snickering or laughing at the same time, but I ate a lot more, thinking that hash brownies would do the same thing as pot. And guess what, people? It does not at all. I remember when it started to hit, I was just thinking, obviously overthinking, why is everyone staring at me? And why do my feet feel tingly? Like that was it. And just kept thinking about that over. And it's like, why do they keep looking at me? Why are you looking at me? Who's this? Who's coming? And then it started becoming almost not, I felt like I was not in a real world anymore. I felt like I was part of a dream now, right? The way I remember it, I was part of a dream now. And like I was watching myself live in this basement or back area of the house. And they're telling me that this person that I haven't seen in like 15 years is coming, and she did. And I end up seeing her in a state that I'm never in. And I'm sure that was fantastic because I cannot remember most of it. But as the time went along, there was a point where I was starting to panic a lot. And I was like, before I have to panic, I was like, Jay, I have to call Nat. I have to call Nat. And I remember I had to call Nat to tell her like how sorry I was because I don't know what's gonna happen to me. I thought I was gonna die. I couldn't function. I didn't know. I remember sitting on the steps and I was with my brother, and then Jay was like, calm down, I'll be right back. And he gets a bottle of vodka and he told me to chug it. That's what he told me to do. So I started chugging this bottle of vodka. Absolute. Ugh, that's terrible. And I couldn't do it. I was trying my best to drink it all and I couldn't do it. He was trying to make me pass out so it would stop, and it did not stop. I remember after there's a point where I knew, I don't even know what was happening, but my mouth was so dry that I went to the sink and I turned on the sink and I had empty gallon of water and I wanted to refill the water. So I put the water, I turn on the water, I put the gallon underneath the water, and I'm watching the water fall into the bottle. And then I disappear, right? I'm not in this kitchen anymore for 5 years. Years have gone by. Years go by. I don't even know what happened in that time. And then when I snap out of it, I look back, and the gallon is only filled up this much. So maybe 5 seconds have gone by, but I felt like 50 years have gone by. There were so many things happening in my head in that point. And then when I went back to it, I did not understand. I freaked out because I did not comprehend how so much happened, but I only filled up this much water. I don't know if that was supposed to be a metaphor for my life or anything, but I had zero idea what was going on. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to fucking do something. And when I was doing it, I laid, after I don't even know how long, everyone started to leave. And I didn't want them to leave me, but they left me. Everyone in the house left me. So I put my head inside the couch. Like I put my head inside the couch where the couch pillows are. I pushed my head in like a burrowing gopher and I left my butt out. And that's the way I fell asleep. And then I woke up the next day feeling the exact same way. And it took forever to go away. And we're going to take a quick break again because Phoenix just came downstairs. Sage was down here, but she was quiet. Phoenix is now down here, and he's not. So we are back. We ended off with, oh, by the way, new shirt. It's definitely later in the day. So whenever I can, like I said, I'll podcast whenever I can. Podcast on a fly, pretty much. And we ended off talking about the hash brownie incident, and my head was inside the couch. I remember feeling that the rest of the day after. And it never went away. And ever since, that was the first time I felt anxiety. Like, I felt it, I experienced it. The anxiousness, the way your chest gets tight, the overthinking of thoughts over and over again, the feelings that you're going to die. That's kind of was not a great experience. Now, more recently, I know how to control my substances. Natalie, who never really does anything except for have a beverage now and then, she had anxiety. She's been having anxiety lately. She wanted to take a gummy and just to like kind of relax, calm down, because I have a partial one, which is part CBD, part THC. So it's 2-to-1 THC to CBD, right? And CBD doesn't have the, I guess you could say, the not hallucinogenics. It doesn't have the same effects as THC, the whole high feeling, right? CBD is more anti-inflammatory. I don't fucking know. Well, like I said, I forget. I'm not a professional in the case. I just take it for my inflammation. That's really what I think is the best benefit of CBD is. I'm sure there's more, but for me is I used to take it for my anxiety, for the inflamed nerve endings, and also for my pain. I would put CBD on it, especially back in the day when it first came out. Now I don't know what's in it anymore. Anyway, we have 2-to-1 THC to CBD gummies, and I got them on sale, so I got a lot of them. You know me. I was in a nice manic mode, and instead of buying one, there was a deal for like 4, or buy one, get one free. So I bought 2. Now I got 4 fucking bottles of this shit. And I told Nat, I have it upstairs, go take it, just bite a corner, which means, I wish I'd put it away because the kids came down. It looks like, I don't know, it's like that big maybe, like that big, right? And it's a little square, and I just nip the corner. So I told her just bite the corner. Don't even like take a big piece. Take a bite and see how you feel, and then if you need more, then take another bite. She doesn't like to listen to me, obviously for many reasons, because maybe my unreliable, I don't know why, maybe because I'm just crazy. And she took the recommended daily allowance of it. So she read the package, which, like we talked about before, is made by potheads. Yeah. So it told you, or it says, take half. One serving is half of the gummy. Half of the gummy. Half. I take maybe to go to sleep and feel it. To go to sleep and feel it. With a little anxiety sometimes. I'll take, what would you call that? I guess an eighth, maybe? So I'll take the half and I'll cut them into 4. And I'll take one of those pieces. One. Nat ate 4 times the amount that I normally take. And she never takes it. So you can guess what happened to Nat. It wasn't as bad as the hash brownie, but she told me when she came down the stairs, like, did you just take a bite? She's like, no, I took half. I was like, half? What do you mean half? She's like, half the gummy. It says on the package that I'm going to take a serving is 1, so take half. So you listen to that package and not to someone that experiences them? Yeah, that's what she did. I didn't want to freak her out. So I said nothing. After that, I said nothing. Just supported her. Because I know the road that she's going down. And she went down a road that she did not like. Her feet were tingling. She thought she was going to die. She felt like her heart was going to come out of her chest. But all I told her to do was lay down on the couch and don't do anything. Don't expect to do anything. Her anxiety just got worse anxiety. And that's it. Even till the next day, she said she felt it. Like she felt the tingling in her feet. She felt the anxiousness. It was not a calming experience at all. So that goes to show you, listen to the people that take it, not to the fucking packages that it comes in. That's all. That's all. And I don't even take that much, because if I took a half, I would be in the gutter. If I took a half, I would be on the street naked, scratching my back on 115-degree asphalt. That's what I would be doing, because I would think that things are on my back or things are trying to get inside my body. I'm sure there's other things that she felt and experienced, but I'm sure she's not talking about. But that's just a little story of more recently how to... you have your pros and cons of using these things for anxiety. It can be very beneficial, right? To calm down, relax your nerves, chill out, go to sleep. Right? I think there's great benefit of it. But then you have your counter side. Shit like that can happen. Your anxiety get worse, and then you're in a very terrible mental state. Right now, you never even healed at all. Now you're just fucking a hot mess. So you have me, right? And then you have Nat. Like, he's a fucking... She didn't win. She did not win in this one. And she'll never, ever do it again. Guaranteed. She even said it. So I'll never fucking... It convinced me that I'll never, ever do it again. I was like, I'm glad it was that great of a ride that you never want to ride it again. So, using, I guess you could say drugs, I don't say is wrong. Everyone can agree to disagree. There's two sides to everything, right? There's a lot of studies going out. People using Special K now for therapy. I've seen that. People using MDMA, ecstasy, for therapy. What else are they using in therapy? Fucking... what's that shit called? LSD, mushrooms, psilocybin. Like, yeah. Not because it was on a podcast, because clinically they're using it and they're seeing some benefit from it. Now, will it work for you? I don't know. That's up to you. I think if you're opposed to this stuff, then don't know, because you're not open to the experience of it. Whereas some people are. But do it under, like I said, supervision. Don't just go buy fucking Special K and snort lines and go into a K-hole at a fucking rave. Don't do that. Like, there's different ways and methods that they use to do it. Have someone in a controlled, nice environment for you guys to experience those things. I took, in the time when I was bad, guys, like the time before I attempted the suicide fund, I was taking mushroom drops every day. I went through my bag of mushrooms because I would just find a mushroom, bite it, and then go on with the day, just to see a blue sky. I just wanted to see the sky bluer, because the sky always looked dark to me. I wanted to change my state of mind. I was not in a good place to do so. I did a little research, not much, but I just took stuff. And that's when we're in a bad place. I was drinking a lot. I was taking mushrooms. I was smoking at night because I just couldn't handle life. I couldn't handle my feelings. I couldn't handle my thoughts of my feelings. I could not handle the thoughts. They were just too strong for me to do so. And did I want to seek help? I did, but I was so willful to not find help. I said I wanted to find a therapist. It took me forever to find a therapist, and then I found one, and he was all right. He kind of just, I feel like, made it worse, honestly, because he just told me more stuff about me that I just kept thinking about, versus like, let's get to the problem of things here and try to figure out what's going on. So like I said, it wasn't until I ended up in the hospital that I really understood why things are this way, why things are that way, and you kind of got a clear mind from it. But at that time, when I was not good, I was taking everything I can. In microdosing, I just microdosed everything. I was functional. I carried it out throughout the day. There's a couple times where I think I took a little too much, and then I was just, walking around aimlessly by myself. Just taking a little bit more longer walks than normal. But it's, there's different ways you can go about it. But I know there's one that really helps, and that's just talking to someone. Going out, and whether it's your friend right now, whether it's a family member, someone you trust that you can really, really open up to, then yeah, that really helps. But if not, and you don't have a good friend, you don't want a friend that's going to be like, yeah, no, get him, Doug. Go get him, Doug. You don't want that friend. Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. Get him, Doug. Let's not talk to him, because they're just going to cheer you on. You want someone with rationale, someone that's going to listen to your story empathetically and give you not an answer, sometimes a question, to see if what you're doing will help you in your case. Or maybe there's a suggestion on how you can go about it next time. I don't think therapy is a bad thing at all. I think it gets its bad raps, and the whole be a man thing is very strong. You know, as much as you want to say it's not, it's a strong motto because we were raised that way, and it's ingrained into you. It's in your blood now. And you know how long it takes to take stuff out of your blood? It takes a long time. You got to completely change your mindset and accept a whole new one. And that doesn't happen in a day. Which is why if you're thinking about therapy or thinking about going to talk to someone or do something, go. But like I said, find someone you like and trust. And if you don't like them, fire them first, really fast, until you find someone that's good. Because all you need to do is talk before it gets bad. All right? I'll see you guys later, man. I got to go before Sage starts talking too much, and Phoenix, we got to go pick him up soon. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for coming out to episode number 59? Yeah, whatever. 59. And, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.